Hello, Timberlane family. I'm down here in our fellowship hall because I miss you, but we need to talk. I miss seeing you face to face and looking you in the eye and having you look me back in the eye and let us talk as brothers and sisters in Christ. I miss that. I miss our time of worship upstairs, certainly, but we can worship wherever we are. And that's not truly a barrier, but our fellowship is. I miss you. And so much has happened since I last saw your face. This last Tuesday, I went home. As I was looking through sources for news and figuring out what happened to the day, I saw the video. I saw a video of a man that I didn't know, but a man whose name I know now. His name is George. His name is George Floyd. His name is Mr. George Floyd. And I saw him being choked out by a man who was wearing a badge. A man who, in my estimation, was hiding behind his badge. Last night, after filming our services for this coming Sunday and preaching about justice, I saw more videos from Minneapolis, and I saw protesters. I saw riots. I saw burning buildings. I've seen many comparisons to the knee on the neck of Mr. Floyd and the kneeling of Colin Kaepernick. I want to restate what I've said from the beginning of this mess, this overblown, misunderstood issue with Colin Kaepernick and his kneeling. I said it from the very beginning, but I lost friends over it. I said it from the very beginning. I lost family members over it. Colin Kaepernick has every single right to protest what he saw as injustice, what I think we all can clearly see as injustice. My fear at the time, and I think it's borne out, is that the issue that he was protesting would be lost in the protest itself. And so what do we argue about? We argue about the national anthem. It's not about the national anthem. So I just went back to work at Timberlane, trying to deal with people one-on-one, in small groups, and as a whole. And now this has happened again. We saw the killing in Georgia. Now we've seen the killing in Minnesota. I don't want to just go back to Timberlane, not in that same sense. We need each other. We need to stand together. We need to encourage one another, but we need to understand each other. Because I fear that what has happened to Mr. George Floyd is going to get lost in the riots. It's going to get lost in the protest. And people are going to start arguing on whether you have a right to do this. Why are they doing this in their city? What good is this doing? And we're going to lose sight of the fact that a man lost his life because he was killed. And he was killed by somebody that we've all been taught to trust. And it hurts. I hope that we don't get distracted away from the core issue and start fussing again and start being divided again over something that has no meaning. It's not about our flag. It's about our people. It's not about our anthem. It's about our neighbors. It's not about our past, even though we need to understand and overcome it. It's about our future. What kind of world is this going to be for our children and our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, long after we're gone? Because we have a chance today to turn the direction into something much more positive and something more beneficial. Let's not lose this opportunity to change ourselves. Somebody wants us divided against each other. It looks to me like that all of this is just stirring up this discord. Somebody wants us to be divided because they know that united we're unstoppable. And that's the beauty of the Lord's church. Christ unites us in ways that our society can never even imagine nor understand. To be one in Christ doesn't mean to ignore the color of our skin. It means to embrace it, to understand that He made each of us different, yet He made us uniquely the same because we're created in His image. We all are related, all the way back to Noah's kids, but certainly all the way back to the creation in the garden. It's all one and the same. We're all from the same seed. And that which was planted in us is the breath of life. Paul tells us that our battle is not against flesh and blood. Our battle is against the demonic forces of evil in the spiritual realm. We always focus on the last part of that. But have we forgotten the first part of that? Aren't we fighting? Our battle is not against each other. It's not against flesh and blood. Let us not lose sight of what this is really about. Because united we can do great things. And we can do great things together. I want to ask a favor from all of you. Go back, sit down, and watch the video. I don't care if you've seen it before. Watch it again as if you're watching it for the first time. And then close your eyes and think. Meditate on what you've seen. Try to take it all in. Try to digest it. And then I want you to watch it again. But this time I want you to do something different. I want you to watch it and put yourself in that scene, in every person's place. Probably the easiest way to start is to put yourself in the position of George Floyd, a man, a human being who can't breathe and begs for his life and even appeals to his mother. Put yourself in that spot and then watch it again. Because we're told there's 3 others. I've seen a picture from behind and you see 4 police officers there, but I know from the videos that I've seen, in that video in particular, that there's another policeman who's standing there. He's kind of beside and kind of in front of the man who's taken the life of his fellow man. This guy is, at least it appears to me, to be Asian. It doesn't matter, other than this is not just a white-black issue. This is a people issue. Put yourself in his spot. What could you have said if you just turned around and paid attention to what was going on right beside you? Instead of crowd control, control your friend. Control the guy that is doing wrong. If he doesn't listen, hit him, knock him over, do whatever you have to do. Do whatever else you would do when you're witnessing a crime. But is that me? Am I protecting? I may not be actively involved in what's going on, but am I guarding somebody or running interference for him? I don't know what those other 2 policemen were doing, but I didn't see them stop it. Then that crowd was there. Turn your volume up. Listen to it again and listen to what's being said. There's one man in particular that's speaking up. He's calling it for what it is. This is wrong. You're killing him. And he's prevented from stopping it because there's somebody standing in his way. How does that feel? Do you feel like you're standing on the sidelines and helpless? Brothers and sisters, we're not helpless. There are things we can do if we're willing to do it together. And then there's a man hiding behind a badge who's got his knee on the carotid artery of another human being. You can see not hatred. At least I don't see hatred in his eye. I see complete indifference. He just doesn't care. I don't know what is in his heart. I don't know whether he hates that man. But his actions tell me that he's at the very least just simply indifferent to his suffering. He's indifferent to the fact that he is endangering his life. And then he callously continues until the man's life ebbs away. Now go back and watch it again. Imagine the person in this world that you love the most, the one who has loved you the best, the one that you want to be like, and then put that person on the ground with someone else's knee on their throat. And tell me what you see. Tell me what you're willing to do. I can't believe we even have to say racism is wrong. But we do. We have to continually remind people. My Timberlane family, if you're harboring hatred in your heart, you've got to let it go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk face to face. Let's be honest about it. We all have a past. We all have to change. And it begins with changing our mind and changing our heart and seeing people as people who are not only created in the image of God, but for whom Jesus Christ died on that cross. If you're harboring hatred, let it go. But there's a larger problem at Timberlane and I think in our country. And that's harboring love in your heart. Sounds odd, doesn't it? Don't harbor your love for your fellow man, your love for your neighbor as yourself. Don't harbor love in your heart. Let it out. For then, people will know that Jesus is real.